Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So I have a question for you. What do you get when you cross the charming educational vibes of Sesame Street with the nail-biting, resource-managing tension of the original Resident Evil? You get nightmares, probably. But you also get this absolute gem of a game, My Friendly Neighborhood. Today, we're not just diving into this bizarre world of felt and fear, we're doing it on the ultimate hard mode. We're taking on the puppet apocalypse with my trusty sidekick, this aging Office PC with an Intel i3 processor and, you guessed it, absolutely no dedicated graphics card. That's right, we're running on hopes, dreams, and integrated graphics. So the big question is, can this potato PC handle a modern survival horror title? And more importantly, is My Friendly Neighborhood a game you should even be playing in the first place? Grab your tool belt, prepare some duct tape, and let's find out. This is my review and low-end performance test of My Friendly Neighborhood. All right, let's get the technical stuff out of the way first, because I know that's why many of you are here. Firing up a new game on a low-end system is always a moment of truth. You hold your breath, click play, and pray you don't just get a slideshow or, even worse, a black screen of disappointment. I went straight into the settings menu, fully expecting to have to sacrifice a goat to the performance gods. I cranked everything down. Resolution, a crisp, at 720p. Textures, shadows, anti-aliasing, all set to low or off. I basically told the game, make yourself at home, but please don't touch anything expensive. And the result? I was absolutely floored. As you can see from all this glorious landscape footage playing on screen, the game runs like a dream. I was getting a mostly constant 60 frames per second. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. 60 FPS on integrated graphics. The game felt incredibly smooth, responsive, and fluid. Throughout my entire playthrough, I didn't experience a single crash, a major stutter, or any game-breaking bugs. The controls are tight and responsive, which is absolutely critical when a 7-foot-tall blue puppet is bearing down on you, wanting to teach you about the alphabet by rearranging your spine. For a game with such a unique and detailed art style, this level of optimization is honestly black magic. The developers, John and Evan Szymanski, deserve a massive round of applause. They've proven that you don't need a monster rig to enjoy a beautifully crafted indie title. So on the performance front, it's a resounding, spectacular pass. So the game runs like a buttery smooth dream on a PC that has no right to do so. But what are you actually doing in that dream? Or more accurately, that fever dream? The game's premise is simple yet brilliant. You are Gordon, a gruff, world-weary handyman who is, quite frankly, over it all. You've been sent to the long-abandoned MFN studio to shut down an old broadcast antenna that has mysteriously sputtered back to life. Your dialogue, which is mostly internal monologue, is hilariously cynical. Gordon is the perfect straight man in a world gone mad, and his "I'm too old for this" attitude provides a constant, humorous contrast to the chaos that's about to unfold. As you step inside the studio, the game's true genius begins to reveal itself. This is a practically perfect homage to classic 90s survival horror wearing the skin of a children's television show. If you grew up with the original Resident Evil or Silent Hill, the muscle memory will kick in immediately. The core gameplay loop is pure, uncut survival horror nostalgia. You explore a vast, labyrinthine map, the studio itself, that brilliantly interconnects and folds back on itself. You'll be managing a strictly limited inventory, forcing you into those classic, agonizing decisions. Do I pick up this box of duct tape, the puzzle item I need, or the half-eaten sandwich that passes for a health kit? You can't carry it all, and every choice feels meaningful. And then there are the enemies. Instead of flesh-eating zombies, your adversaries are the former stars of the show, a cast of colorful, felt-covered puppets, and they are absolutely delighted to see a new friend. They don't snarl or groan, they cheerfully call out to you, asking for a hug, inviting you to play a game, or wanting to rehearse their lines. This is where the game's unique brand of horror comes from. It's not gore, as there is absolutely none. It's not even reliant on a constant barrage of jump scares, though a few are expertly placed to catch you off guard. The horror is psychological. It's the profoundly unsettling cognitive dissonance of a 7-foot-tall blue puppet named George chasing you down a hallway, not to kill you, but to teach you about the letter H for hug. The uncanny valley has never felt so deep or so terrifyingly cheerful. The combat system is a stroke of genius that perfectly reinforces this theme. You're a handyman, not a marine. Your main tool is a makeshift weapon called the Rolodexer, which fires letters. Yes, letters of the alphabet. You use these to temporarily stun the puppets, giving you a window to rush in and tie them down with duct tape, the handyman's solution to everything. You're not killing them, you're just hitting the snooze button on a fuzzy felt-covered alarm clock from hell. And it is a snooze button, because if you hang around in an area for too long, they'll eventually break free, adding a persistent layer of threat to areas you thought were safe. This non-lethal approach is not only refreshing, but also masterfully weaves the game's theme into its core mechanics. The puzzles are another area where the game absolutely shines. They're intricately woven into the setting of a TV studio. You won't be finding ornate crests to place in a wall. Instead, you'll be deciphering clues from old show posters, using audio cues from tapes to crack codes, rewiring lighting rigs, and manipulating props on a stage to reveal a hidden path. It all feels logical within the game's world, making you feel less like a walking key finder and more like a clever problem solver who is actively interacting with the environment. My only tiny, minuscule nitpick in this otherwise seamless experience was having to manually dig through the settings menu just to turn on the aiming reticle. It's a baffling omission for a default setting, especially when you need precise aim to pop a bee into a puppet's head before it gets too close for comfort. Now let's talk about the world itself, the studio. For the most part, it is a masterfully designed space, rivaling the Spencer Mansion in how its different wings and floors cleverly connect. You'll have countless aha moments when you unlock a door and realize you've just created a vital shortcut back to a familiar area. This makes backtracking, a staple of the genre, feel rewarding. However, to offer a balanced critique, the magic does wane slightly in the latter half of the game. After the initial awe of exploring colorful, character-filled TV sets, some of the connecting areas, the backstage corridors, the drab office blocks, can start to feel a bit repetitive and visually uninteresting. I did find my enthusiasm dipping slightly during these sections. But just when you think you're getting a little burnt out on beige filing cabinets, the game pulls you into a new area that is so creative it completely revitalizes the experience. You'll stumble into a wonderfully bizarre playhouse section that operates on dream logic, or an aviary set that is both beautiful and menacing. These standout locations prove that the developers had plenty of tricks up their sleeves, and they serve as spectacular high points in the journey. This journey is wrapped in a surprisingly compelling narrative, following Gordon's character arc from a jaded cynic to someone who, well, you'll have to see. And for the completionists out there, the replay value is staggering. Once the credits roll, you unlock new difficulty modes, a treasure trove of secrets, game-altering cheats, and entirely new modes to play. While I personally felt a bit too exhausted by the tension to jump right back in, if this game truly gets its hooks into you, it offers a playground you can return to again and again. So, what's the final verdict on My Friendly Neighborhood, especially for the low-end PC gamers out there? This game is, without a doubt, one of the best and most creative games I have played this year. It's a masterclass in atmosphere and tension, proving that you don't need buckets of blood to create a compelling horror experience. It's a love letter to a bygone era of survival horror, polished to a modern sheen. The fact that it runs so phenomenally well on the system with no graphics card is not just the cherry on top, it's a whole extra cake. It makes the game accessible to a massive audience that is often left behind by the industry's ever-increasing technical demands. If you are a fan of traditional survival horror, if you love games that make you think instead of just react, and if you're looking for something that is genuinely unsettling but won't give you a heart attack, you owe it to yourself to play this game. It manages to be scary, funny, and surprisingly heartfelt all at once. It's a special title, crafted with a clear love and understanding of what makes the genre great. It's an easy, wholehearted recommendation from me. So, that's my take. What do you all think? Have you had a chance to visit my friendly neighborhood? Did you run it on a high-end rig or another potato like mine? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so let me know down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please do me a huge favor and give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. And if you want to see more low-end PC tests and quirky indie game reviews, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think I hear the alphabet song and I need to go hide.